Good. Okay, let's start to page 26. And we're talking about modern Canada. And let's see. Dial, would you like to start reading where it says sports?
Okay. Sports have flourished as all provinces and territories have produced amateur and professional star athletes and Olympic medal winners. Basketball was invented by Canadian James Naismith in 1891. Many major league sports boast Canadian talent and in the national sport of ice hockey. Canadian teams have dominated the world in 1996 at the Olympic Summer Games. Donovan Bailey became a world record sprinter and double Olympic gold medalist. Chantel Bittsplayer became a world champion wheelchair racer and Paralympic gold medalist, one of the greatest hockey players of all time. Wayne Gretzky played for the Edmonton Oilers from 1979 to 1988.
Very good. Good. Yeah. Okay, so let's just talk. We're talking about sports now. Sports is very important in Canada. Very, very important. Because many Canadians play sports and many Canadians like sports. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at some of the sports. Things to remember in this part. This one here, basketball. Basketball was invented by Canadian James Naismith in 1891. So the game of basketball was invented by a Canadian, yeah, in 1891. So that's usually a question. That's usually a question. James Naismith. Try to remember that name, James Naismith. And then it says major league sports. So major league sports in Canada are, hockey and baseball and basketball. And but in hockey, Canada is usually the best in the world in hockey. Usually the best in the world because in Canada is very cold, and so many people play hockey. So usually Canada is usually number one. And then see if there's some more names here. Donovan Bailey. I'm going to show you some pictures. Donovan Bailey was a sprinter. That means a runner, and he won 2 gold medals. And Chantal Petitclerc, she was in a wheelchair racer. So she can't use her legs. And so she was racing in a wheelchair and she won the Paralympic gold. That's for people who have injuries. And then again, one of the greatest hockey players in Canada ever is Wayne Gretzky. So those are the kind of names. And let's just look at some of the pictures at the top. We'll do some more pictures in a minute so we talked about Donovan Bailey. This person here, he won 2 gold medals, so he's a runner. I think he won for the 100-meter race, and I think they won for the relay race too. And he set a world record. So he is Canadian. And then this is Chantal Petitclerc. You can see how strong she is. So she's in a wheelchair, and she won a gold medal for in the Paralympics in the wheelchair races. And then I'm just going to go over here. I don't know if you can see. Just a second, please. And then this is some people call him the greatest hockey player ever. He's Wayne Gretzky. He was a very, very good hockey player, and some people say he's the greatest hockey player ever. Yeah. Okay. So let's do. Those are some names to remember there, and then let's. So we have Rashid and we have Mohammed. You're both here, and Zala.
Yes.
Okay.
Mohammed and Ghazala here, Brian.
You're both here? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you want to start reading this one and then we'll split this one. you and Mohammed can do these ones together. So Ghazala, you start reading this in just a second. You start reading this one where it says in 1980. Can you do that one, please, Ghazala?
Yeah.
Okay. In 1980, Terry Fix, British Columbia, who lost has right leg to Selkar
Answer.
answer at the age of 18, beginning a cross country run, the marathon of hope to raise money for cancer research. He became a hero to Canadians. Well,
Wait, can you stop? Sorry, Ghazala, can you stop there? And then we'll get Mohammed. We'll get Mohammed to do the next part. You'll be a team. You'll be a team.
Mohammed here. When he died.
Well, he did not finish the run and ultimately lost his battle with cancer. His legacy continues through really fundraising events in his name. In 1985, fellow British Columbian Rick Hanson circled the globe in the Lusher to raise funds for spinal cord Richard.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay, so now this man here, I'll show you the picture of Terry Fox. You see this picture here? He was 18 years old, and he was probably one of the most famous Canadians ever. Everybody in Canada knows Terry Fox, everybody. And many people around the world know Terry Fox. He was a very, very famous Canadian. You can see his leg. You see his shorts here. This leg here, he has no leg. And so he only has one leg. And he was 18 years old. And he started running, I think he started in Newfoundland. And he ran like a marathon every day. So I think it's like 26 miles, something like that. He ran with one leg and one artificial leg every day. So that's why they call it the Marathon of Hope. And he ran all the way from Newfoundland, and he went to Northern Ontario. And then he got sick again because he had cancer and he had to stop. But his race, his run, he called the Marathon of Hope. And it raised millions of dollars every year. And that was 1980. So that was a long time ago, 1980. And every year now, today in Canada, and every year in Canada, we have a Marathon of Hope race, a run every year because of Terry Fox. And we raise millions of dollars for cancer. And it went around the world. Terry Fox runs in India and many other countries of the world. Marathon of Hope. And so he was a very You know the word inspirational? Does anybody know what that word means, inspirational? Never heard that word before? Inspirational means when you look to somebody and you see they are great and you want to be like them, you know? So like if a young man with one leg can run 26 miles a day, you know, why I can't be lazy, you know? If he can do it, then we can do it too. And so that's why he is a hero in Canada. He's a very, very important young man. So he actually died with the cancer killed him, but he inspired many, many people. So he is a very important boy, and there will be a question on him because he is probably very important. And so the other person here, it says, so that was 1980 for Terry Fox, and the other one is Rick Hansen. And so Rick Hansen was from British Columbia, and you see this picture at the top here, this Chantal Petitclerc, she's in a wheelchair. So Rick Hansen was also in a wheelchair. He can't use his legs. He can't use his legs. But he pushed his wheelchair all over the whole world, around the whole world, to raise money for research to help people with the problem he had. Yeah, so he went all over the world in a wheelchair. Yeah, so these people are very, very strong people, and that's why Canadians like them, because they're good people to follow. So Terry Fox raised millions of dollars for cancer. That's usually a question. And the other one is Rick Hansen, and he went around the globe. The globe here, this word globe, that means world. He circled the globe. That means he went around the whole world to raise money for research for spinal cord. Yeah, 1980. So those are the kind of questions they'll ask you there, okay? Terry Fox and Rick Hansen. So try to remember their names. So let's see. Now we have Zaniba and we have Rashid. So Ghazala and everybody's read. Okay, let's see. Zaniba, would you like to do this part here? The first part, and then Rashid, we can finish it maybe, please. Okay. Canadian advances.
Okay. And Canadian advanced in socials and technology are world renowned and have changing the way the world communicated. And this business, Marshall McLuhan and Holt Ennis were. I finished it, teacher. I continue.
Yes, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
So hard, and then I say
you can stop after the next sentence if you want.
Okay.
And Harold Ennis were what were they? Were
Marshall, I know this is like McLuhan. I don't know. And where I am, Pointer and Tinkers.
Yeah, you could stop. You can stop there if you want. Good. Yeah. So before we talked about sports, and then we talked about people like Terry Fox and we talked about Wayne Gretzky and people like that. And now we're talking about science and technology. And technology is things like computers and cell phone and mobile phones or cell phones. The way we use that's technology. And so these are the people that famous Canadians that did that. Marshall McLuhan, Harold Innis, they were pioneer thinkers. So they were thinking how the world works. So that's what they did. People liked their ideas. They thought they were very smart. Okay, and then Rashid, would you like to do this part here? It says science and research. Science and research.
Okay. Science and research in Canada have won international recognition and attracted the world-class students, academics, and the entrepreneurs engaged in medical research telecommunications, and the other fields. Since 1989, the Canadian Space Agency and the Canadian astronauts have participated in space exploration, often using the Canadian designed and built Canadam Gerhard Herzberg, a refugee from Nazi Germany, John Polanyi, Sidney Altman, Richard E. Taylor, Michael Mies, and Bertram Brockhaus were Nobel Prize winning scientists.
Very good, very good. Okay, so we're talking about science. So let's, science and research. So what this says is that Canada has a good reputation in the world for science. And so students want to come to Canada, to the universities to study. And then I wanted to see if you could do these words here, Rashid, and you did them very well. This is a very difficult word that many people make mistake. Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means business people that have their own ideas and they do it on their own. They start their own business. That's what entrepreneur is. And then this word here, telecommunications. That's using things like cell phones and mobile phones and computers to communicate. So that's what that is. So these are the reasons why Canada is doing well with science, because we have smart people here, we have good universities, and people come to Canada for that. And then this here, the Canadian Space Agency, they use this thing called the Canadarm. I'm just going to show you what that is. It's on the next page, but you don't have to change. I could show you on the thing here. This is the Canadarm here. Can you see it there? And this is in space, and this is a robot arm. It's on the International Space Center in space. And this is what Canada did for the International Space Center. So they can go outside and see they're attached to the arm, and the arm can hold the person, or the arm can fix the space center. It's like a big robot arm. And Canada built that. Canadian scientists built that. So they call it the Canadarm. Yeah, Canadarm. Okay, so let's do, and then these are famous people who have won Nobel Prizes. And the Nobel Prize, you might have known that. The Nobel Prize is the highest prize in the world for science. And so many Canadian people have won this high level science prize. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of what they're talking about there, the importance of science in modern Canada. But there's some pictures here that we have to know what's going on in these pictures too. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to let Zaniba read this one because I didn't give her much to read, and then I'll let the other one. Zaniba, can you do this one here? This is talking about this picture of this woman here.
Oh, this one.
See the red one here down here?
Okay, the red one. Okay.
Yeah.
From left to right, contraception. No,
I'll give you her name. Her name is Katrina Lemay-Doan.
Katrina Lemay-Doan. Okay, I read that. The flag after winning gold medal in Spain skating at the 2002 Olympic Winter Games. Canadian football is popular game that difference in the number of the ways from America football professional teams in the Canadian Football League CFL competing or competing for the oh my God, champions. Yeah, champions. Grey Cup donated by Laureate Gray, the Governor General in the 1909.
Very good. Okay, very good. So this picture here is Katrina Lemaine-Dome. She won the gold medal in speed skating. And so she's a very famous Canadian athlete. And this talks about Canadian football. So Canadian football is very different than American football. There's different rules. We play football, but it's not like, it's different than American football. And then in Canada, they play for the Grey Cup. That's the most important championship, the Grey Cup. Okay, so let's go over here. And I think I'm going to get Manal to read this one here, if you wouldn't mind, please. Manal. This is for the picture in the corner. Can you see that picture with the hockey players? Manal, can you read that part there in 1970?
Okay, teacher.
Yeah.
1972 play Huntsronson.
Yeah, Paul Henderson. Paul
Henderson. Second, Soren, the winning goal for Canada in the Canada seventh seminal series. This goal is often referred to as the goal heard around the world and is still remembered today as an important event in both sports and culturally his history.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Paul Henderson. So try to remember that name, Paul Henderson, 1972. So this was, again, hockey is very, very important in Canada. And so this was the first time Canada played against the Russia, against the Soviet Union, the first time ever. And it was really close. There were 7 games, I think. It was really close. And at the very end, Paul Henderson scored the goal that won. And Canada went crazy. The whole country went crazy. So in 1972, Paul Henderson scored the winning goal, and it's the goal heard around the world. And most people in Canada still know about this. Yeah, this is important history for Canada. Hockey is always important history for Canada. Okay, good. I think it's okay now. Let's try some questions. Try to remember some of the names and dates. I think the question should be okay. So let's see. Why don't we start with I think Diala, you started, right? Do you want to do this one, Diala, please?
Basketball was invented by a Canadian. It's true?
Yeah. True. Basketball was invented by a Canadian. Good. And then let's see. Mohammed, would you like to do this one?
Okay. Why is Trial Fox Canadian national hero?
I think one, I think.
Number 1.
I think.
Yeah, number 1. Right.
Number 1? Okay. Yeah, very good. Yeah, he inspired people to contribute money for cancer research. Yeah, people all over the world too, not just Canada. Good. Okay, and then Ghazala, would you like to do this one?
Okay. What is often referred to as the goal heard around the world? Give me 1 second, please. First one, Brian, I don't sure.
Okay, so the winning goal for Canada in the Canadian Soviet Series in 1992. So there's two here. There's 1972
Okay,
and 1992.
okay, one
Which one do you think it is?
Okay,
72
number
or
number 3.
Yeah, then maybe it's number 3. Let's see. Yeah, number 3.
Number
1972.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Hockey is so important in Canada. Okay, let's see. Zaniba, would you like to do this one?
لأنك ما على درسنتي.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's everybody. Okay, yeah. Zaniba, can you do this one?
Okay. Which Canadian circled the globe in the wheelchair to rest found police? Okay, police. Terrification, no Rachel. No is like me the wheelchair is like Reese Hansen. Number 2. Number 2.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Good memory. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Manal, would you like to do this one?
Canadian football is superior identical to American football.
Yeah, those are big words. Those are big. What that means is there's no, this question is saying there's no difference. They're exactly the same. It says Canadian football is exactly the same as American football. Is that true or false?
I think false.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences.